Thanks for joining me today. So I wanted to do a really quick video and I wanted to talk about sun salutations. Now I will do a video in the future that touches on how to do full sun salutations, but my object with my yoga and the way that I approach yoga is I want it to be accessible for everybody. And I hear a lot from a lot of people that I know that I can't do yoga. People say that to me all the time. They say I can't bend into a pretzel, I can't get into these positions. And my whole thing is I want to get rid of what people think yoga is. Because so many people think yoga is getting into a pretzel, bending themselves into all these different ways. And that's really not what yoga is at all. And not especially what type of yoga I want to teach is not what yoga is at all. I want to make yoga accessible for everybody, for all bodies, no matter what kind of body you have, no matter what your capabilities are. Yoga is accessible for everybody, no matter what. And I want to show you that there are different ways to do poses. It's not about getting into a pretzel. It's not about getting into these impossible positions. It really is connecting to your breath. And there are poses that you can do that are modified. And that's wonderful and that's great because it really does make the pose more accessible. So what I'm going to show you today is that there are different ways to do sun salutations. If you've watched one of my previous videos, we did quarter salutations, and I'm going to touch on that today in this video. Now, I'm going to show you how to do quarter salutations two different ways. We're going to do them seated and standing. And quarter salutations are very gentle and mildly stimulating for your body. So it's a great way just to warm up your body. And it can be done, like I said, seated or standing, and whatever is available to you. So if it's more comfortable for you to do seated, do it that way. If it's comfortable for you to do standing, go do it that way. Just again, do what is comfortable for you. Do what is accessible for you. And that's what this video is about today. Finding what works for you. So, to do a quarter sun salutation, come to a seated position. We're going to start on the floor today. Come to a nice seated, comfortable position. And make sure that you're sitting up nice and tall, that you can sit in this position comfortably without any strain. You're not arching, you're not straining to keep yourself upright. You're comfortable. If you need to sit on a towel, a blanket, a block, please do so. Whatever you can do to make yourself the most comfortable that you can. And to start, just place your hands on your knees. Take a deep breath in, deep breath out. And if you know the Ujjayi breath, or if you've done my video, if you haven't, please check that out after this video. It's only 8 minutes. But if you do know the Ujjayi breath, feel free to connect to that or just do your regular breathing. Just breathe in and breathe out. And as you inhale, you're going to reach your arms up. And as you exhale, you're going to bring your hands to heart center. And that is a quarter sun salutation. So we're going to do that again. Inhale, as you bring your arms up. You can look up to your hands. Exhale as you bring your arms to heart center. And you're going to repeat that a few times. And if you want to, you can close your eyes and really get into the movement and really get into the breath. So let's do this a few more times. Inhale as your arms come up. Exhale as your hands come to heart center. Inhale as your arms come up. Exhale as your hands come to heart center. Inhale as your arms come up. Exhale as your hands come to heart center. Now do this on your own breath about 4 more times. when you're ready, just meet me in a nice seated position, hands at heart center. You can blink your eyes open if they have been closed. So that's how you do a quarter sun salutation sitting down. And it's a really good warm-up for your upper body, for your arms, for your hands, inviting movement, gentle movement into your body. Now, let's try it standing, if you want to try it standing. So, to do it standing, let's come to a mountain pose on your mat. Now, to come to mountain pose, you want to bring your feet so they're hip distance apart. And a good way to make sure that your feet are hip distance apart is if you can imagine that you can place 2 fists between your feet. So it's like 2 fist distance between your feet. That's a good indicator that you're hip distance apart. You want to start with grounding. That's the main thing. You always want to be grounded. You want to feel like you're grounded. You want to feel the ground beneath you. So to start with the grounding, when you're in standing position and mountain pose, you want to lift up your toes, and then you want to drop them onto the mat. And you want them to lightly grip the mat, but you want to make sure that you are putting all your pressure evenly into all your toes and into the right and left foot. So you want to make sure you're not leaning too much into one foot or leaning too much into the other, but that you're putting your pressure evenly between the two. And you want to imagine that you are pulling up the energy from the ground, pulling it up through the center of your feet. So imagine pulling that up, and it's rising through your feet, it's rising through your body. And in doing so, you'll engage your legs as you pull up. And you're gonna rise up, and you can bring your shoulders back and let them relax. Let your hands relax by your sides. Let your head find a nice relaxing position as you come to a nice standing position. To be in a mountain pose, you are like a mountain. You are strong, you are steady, you are solid, and you are standing very strong. You are radiating, you are connected to the ground. And that's where we're going to start our half salutations from. Our quarter salutations from when we're standing. So we start in mountain pose. And just like we did from the ground, we're going to inhale, and we're going to bring our hands up above our head. We can gaze up, and then we're going to exhale and bring our hands to heart center. We're going to do that again. Inhale as you bring your arms up. This is mountain arms up. Bring your hands to heart center. Exhale. Let's try that again. Inhale as you bring your arms up. Exhale as you bring your hands to heart center. Again, let me just go back a little further so you can see. Inhale as you bring your arms up. Exhale as you bring your hands to heart center. So let's try that 4 more times on your own breath. If you want, you can close your eyes. Make sure that you're steady into the ground. You feel solid. You feel connected to the earth. And just try that on your own breath. If you want, you can close your eyes. And just meet me in mountain pose with your hands at heart center. So you'll notice that it feels a little different doing it standing, doing quarter salutation standing versus sitting, because you're using more of your body. You're standing upright, you're using more of your legs to support yourself, so you're going to feel it more in your legs, you're going to feel more of a whole body stretch when you do this, when you do it standing, and that's good. So whatever is comfortable for you. But I just wanted to show you 2 different ways that you can approach a sun salutation in a modified way. So these are quarter salutations. Again, they can be done seated. They could be done standing. You know, you could also do it if you wanted to kneeling, if that is more comfortable for you. Come to a kneeling position. You could place a blanket behind your knees if you need, or even sit on a blanket if that's more comfortable for you. And from a kneeling position, bring your hands up, and then bring your hands to heart center. So again, I'm in a kneeling position. So if seated or standing doesn't work, come to a kneeling position, sit back on your feet. If you need to, place a block or a blanket, most likely a blanket, if you need to sit back on that, or if you need to actually sit on another blanket on your mat, just to make it a little bit more comfortable for your knees. And then just sit up straight and tall like you would in mountain pose. Let your shoulders get comfortable. Rest them. You can roll them backwards. Become straight and tall. Let your head find a nice neutral position. Let your hands hang by your side. And then you're going to inhale as your hands go up. Exhale as you come to heart center. Again, inhale as your hands go up. Exhale as your hands come to heart center. Again, inhale as your hands come up. Exhale as your hands come to heart center. Let's do that 4 more times on your own breath. If you want, you can close your eyes. So there you go. You have actually 3 different ways that you can approach quarter salutations. They're all equally good. They're all wonderful ways to invite gentle movement into your body, and just 3 different approaches. So play with that. See what feels good for your body, whether it's seated, kneeling, or standing. Play with it and find what feels good. Thank you for joining me. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.